What if the success you're chasing, your net worth, your reputation, your business milestones, was actually costing you the things that matter most? I was working like crazy, chasing a dream, checking all the boxes that said I was winning, but I was losing the one thing I couldn't afford to lose. That was time with my family. At that realization, it just turned everything upside down for us. Let me take you back to that turning point. Welcome to it's a new series on the Real Estate Syndication Show around what I call true wealth. I'm your host, Whitney Sewell, husband, father, entrepreneur, founder of LifeBridge Capital. In this series, we're going beyond just the numbers and to redefine what real success and real fulfillment and real legacy look like. If you're a high-performing entrepreneur, a business owner, or an investor, you probably have plenty of people around you applauding your wins. But what if the scoreboard you're looking at, isn't the one that really matters? That's what we're diving into today. A few years back, Chelsea and I were walking on the beach in the fall, just the two of us, away from just the chaos of our daily lives. At that time, I was working more than 2 full-time jobs. I was a federal agent during the day. And as soon as I would get home, I'd throw on my jeans and my boots and load up the horses, and I would head out and I would train horses all through the evening, giving lessons and sometimes or oftentimes not getting home until midnight. I'd walk back in the door, crash for a few hours just to do it all over again. It took a toll on our family and Chelsea and I. So Chelsea was carrying, the entire weight of the home. Our 2 oldest boys, they were just babies at the time, but I was missing everything about them, all their firsts, right? Their first words and maybe even their first steps and, them learning so many new things. I was missing those early mornings and bedtime routines that are so important. I was missing just being dad. So on that beach walk, we asked a question that would change everything for us. And that question was, is what we're doing right now going to get us where we want to go in 5 or even 10 years? We both knew the answer was absolutely not, and it wasn't even close. So we made a decision, and a big one. We came home, and we immediately put our farm on the market. We sold the farm. Soon I decided to leave that career that everyone else said was so stable and secure and smart. And you know what? Driving out of that driveway for the last time, Chelsea and I, we just cried. And I remember wondering, like, Lord, is this really what you want? Is this right? Because it didn't feel good. It didn't feel comfortable, that's for sure. And it didn't feel safe, but it felt obedient. What made that moment even harder was just the unknown. Leaving a government job meant leaving comfort. It meant walking away from retirement and health benefits and predictability that everybody thought was just, the right thing to do and to have. But we knew if we didn't step out in faith, we'd regret it forever. And deep down, I believe something. That even if we lost everything, God would still be enough. Back then, my idea of wealth was so basic. Have a little extra. Don't live paycheck to paycheck. Maybe we would adopt again. We give when we can. But the Lord started to change that. He opened my eyes to a bigger definition of wealth and a biblical definition of wealth. So here's a few points of how I see wealth today. So there's spiritual wealth. This would be the most important. And that's a relationship with Jesus, a life anchored in truth and grace and purpose. Then there's relational wealth, a strong marriage, deep connection with my kids, friendship, brotherhood, community. And there's emotional wealth. That would be like peace and joy and courage, a mind and heart set on things above. Those are things you cannot buy, but you can build them with intention, with surrender, and with courage. One passage that's always stuck with me is Matthew 19, the story of the rich young ruler. This guy, he had it all. He followed all the rules. He was morally upright. He had wealth and influence. But Jesus said to him, if you would be perfect, go, sell what you possess and give it to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me. And the man walked away. Why? Because his possessions weren't just things, they were his identity. Jesus wasn't attacking his wealth. He was revealing his heart. He had built his life on just a false foundation. And Jesus was offering something better, real treasure, eternal wealth. 1 Timothy 6:17-19 says, as for the rich in this present age, charge them not to be haughty, nor set their hopes on the uncertainty of riches, but on God, who richly provides us with everything to enjoy. We're not told to reject wealth, but to steward it, to enjoy it humbly, to hold it loosely. And that message is for all of us. Whether you've got $100 or whether you've got $100 million, now, if your wealth is your God, it will never satisfy you. Only Christ can. I've been on stages with men who looked like they had it all together. The crowd loved them, and online they were celebrated by everyone. Every post got all kinds of, likes. But in business, they were just admired by everyone. Everyone asked how they did it. But when you sit down with them privately, or when I sat down with them privately, I saw a different story. Their marriage, it was falling apart. They had no relationship with their kids, and their identity was tied to their success and their worldly wealth, and they were drowning in it. That's not true wealth. That's a trap, and I don't want that for you. I definitely don't want it for me either. Let me invite you just to pause right now, and unless you're driving, close your eyes even, and ask yourself, 10 years from now, what will I regret not doing? Will my kids remember how much I worked or how present I was? Will my marriage be stronger or more strained? Will I be known as a generous, grounded man of God or just another success story who burned out? And most of all, will I have taken hold of what is truly life? That's why I'm creating a course for just men who want to be courageous and who want to lead well and build what I call true wealth. It's not for perfect men. It's for courageous men, men who are ready to stop chasing just the world's definition of success and start building a life that actually matters. Go to whitneysewell.com, sign up for the newsletter, and you will hear just more updates about it in the coming future. But, that's where the journey gets real. And so please go to whitneysewell.com and join me there. Also, sign up at LifeBridge Capital if you want to learn more about investing and what we are doing in the market today. But thanks for joining me today. This is a new series, a True Wealth series, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Also, go to or email us at info@lifebridgecapital.com, and we'd love to hear from you.